Back up. All right, guys, it is fall mullet run here in South Florida, Pompano Beach. We've been trying to get out and mess around with the mullet run for a minute now, but between there's a nice one. Between my travel schedule and a couple of hurricanes, it has not been easy, but we got finally nice weather morning. We got some outgoing tide here. We're on our way to the beach. I stopped and checked one of these spots that's typically will hold finger mullet and stuff if they're around, and sure enough, they're here. So we're gonna get a couple of throws on them, and then we're headed to the inlet. All right, so we got a good net full of finger mullet there on that throw on the beach, and just coming outside the inlet right now. We got an outgoing tide. May throw an artificial here a couple of times on the inside just to see if we can't get lucky. Otherwise, we're gonna head up north, look around on the beach, see if we can find some mullet on the beach, try and fish to some of those schools. Who knows, you know, obviously the focus will be snook, tarpon, maybe some jacks. There could be anything in those schools. So that's what the fall mullet run is all about. And let's see if we can make something happen. Neutral. All right. Drifting a finger mullet on the bottom here on the outgoing tide at Boca Inlet. Got our first bite of the day. If I can keep him out of the motors. This is not good. Got ourselves a snook, ladies and germs. Get that net. We're gonna just bump him. Let's get him out of this tide a little bit. Neutral. Woo! There we go. How about it? Circle hook did its job. Let's get this rod out of the way. Nice inlet snook. Look how pretty the dorsal fins are on these guys. We got those finger mullet on the beach, and there's been some, not on the beach, but on the beach inside the intercoastal. There's been some bait in here on the beach. Nothing crazy. Turtle just got up behind us, but nothing really to fish to just yet, which is why I figured we would make some passes through the inlet. And on the south side, nothing going, but literally the first pass through the south side, Beautiful fish. Which is probably close to legal. But we're gonna let him go. A nice 12, 15-pound fish. There he goes. How about that, Fish Blue crew? What do you say we do it again? It's like serving up a little filet mignon. All we got, guys, here is tied in this is like some 40-pound above. Put a section of 60-pound fluoro beneath it. Just a little knocker rig, light swivel. Might be flirting with death here on that. I'm gonna retie that real quick. So I just retied the hook on the end there. It was a little chafed. Didn't want to take any chances, but anyhow, we've got a section of 60-pound fluoro tied into a 3/0 owner, like a Gamakatsu style circle hook, live bait circle hook, and on one of those little with a knocker style rig. It's probably about a 3/4 ounce egg sinker. Just slides up and down, keeps the bait down on the bottom in this current, and then still lets it swim and do its thing. So worked on the last drift. Let's see if it can work again. Good call, Jazz. You know what's fun about this kind of fishing this time of the year for you guys that, you know, whether you do it from the beach, whether you do it from a little boat like this, you know, when the bait is abundant like this, it's not too difficult. Get you a small net, little 8-foot, you know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch net, depending upon the size of the mullet you're netting. You know, some egg sinkers, it's some leader material, some hooks, and you're fishing. It's easy, nothing to it. And I think I let a illegal snook go at my own fault because I left my measuring stick at the house. Wasn't going to take a chance, so we're just catch and release here today on those guys. But they are awfully good to eat when they're in season and you catch a slot. Fish on! You're good. All right, I think we got another snook on, ladies and germs. A little smaller than the other one, but still a nice fish. How about that for a camera guy? How about that for a camera guy? Old Jazz behind the camera. I think he's partial to snook. Oh, look at that. We even got the old natural hook release. Didn't even have to take it out myself. A little smaller guy, but I'd say he's probably 22, 24 inches. Good little fight. We're having some fun here. It's hard for me to stop fishing for something when it's biting. We're not going to just yet. I got to make another drift because it's just too much fun. But I think what we may do here momentarily, we got this current really pumping strong. We may slide over here to the beach, look around, see if we can play with anything on the beach. We got Deerfield Pier that's closed for construction right now. So we'll go take a look at that. And then if we decide to, before the end of the video, tail into outgoing tide when it starts to slack off just a little bit with the current and the tide. We may bring you guys back here for a couple more drifts. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap for this little fishing adventure here on the Fish Blue Water channel. But it was a fun day. We in total had 5 snook bites, caught 2. Hoping to get to show you guys some really cool fall mullet run, shots today, but they're just not on the beach like that. I don't know if these storms have thrown it off or whatever, but needless to say, it's still been a great day. And speaking of the storms, we want to just send our prayers and thoughts to all the people and the families up and down the Florida coast that have been impacted by either Helene or Milton on either side of the coast. It's an accepted risk of living in Florida, but it never makes it any easier when you see people's lives turned inside out. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all those. Do what you can, guys, to help anybody in need, and we'll see you for the next Fish Blue Water video.